And it's Dylan from Geek Circus, playing some Dark Souls. Scumbag of the First Sin. I say scumbag because this guy appears after you have to fight 3 bosses after a row. In a row. Whatever, it's this guy. I'm also going to talk about a few other things. Like how disappointed I was with Age of Ultron, a movie which I was looking forward to for a while. But it just kind of fell short on a lot of things. Um, Everything seemed kind of rushed. Obviously, some parts were missing, and especially the part on the boat, the rusted down boat where we find Ulysses' claw. That's about the closest thing we get, other than the mention of vibranium, to an Easter egg for the Black Panther movie. And mainstream people are not going to know who Ulysses' Claw is. And I found that to be a real pain in the ass. But hey, they kept that scene with Hawkeye and his family, but they just happened to cut Thor's trip to the magic well. And also just Ultron's story in general really made me mad because it's so not how it's done in the original comics that it all just feels bad. Like Ultron's just here all of a sudden because what? The key to life, the artificial life, was inside of Loki's scepter, which was an Infinity Stone. And that doesn't make much sense to me. Ultron was created by Hank Pym, who they're having not be Ant-Man, which is alright, because there were multiple people who were Ant-Man. The point is, it would have been a whole lot better if Ultron was simply made a little after-credit scene in Ant-Man, just as like a little side thing. Even if it's just like casually mentioned, it would have been better than just flat out making him a villain for literally no reason other than you need someone or some way to introduce other characters, such as Scarlet Witch and the Vision. And that's another thing, too. That Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch's origins are some of the most messed up in all of the Marvel films. You're gonna throw your Kamehameha. That's because you have, in one universe, the Fox universe, as I call it, where X-Men is, where the two of them aren't actually twins, from what I can tell. And that Pedro's probably only a few years younger than Magneto. Well, I wouldn't say he's a few years younger. I would say the odds of Pedro being his son, unless his name isn't Pedro. In that case, I totally apologize. Call him Quicksilver from now on. Quicksilver doesn't. It's plausible he could be his son, but it doesn't seem likely in the X-Men universe. And then in the standard Marvel universe, Magneto isn't even around, and they have the twins being people who were experimented on and not mutants from some European place. I can't remember, Ukraine or something. And that doesn't make much sense to me either, because in this movie you start to see all of the little mistakes Marvel has made from its time making movies. Like selling off all of its other franchises when it really should have been bargaining to get them back in time for giant character spanning movies like this, where you have characters from multiple groups coming in. And I'm not even going to get started on Fantastic Four. The point is that Age of Ultron was... It could have been so much more than it was. But what it did was it followed the first Avengers movie plot almost to a T. Characters are introduced, they get some conflict from the main villain, and then there's conflict among them. And then there's the horde battle at the end, where it doesn't even make sense why Ultron would just send thousands of those robots basically to be cannon fodder so we can see what the superheroes can do, even though we already know what they do. It just made me sad. I wanted to like it so much. James Spader was the perfect choice to do the voice of Ultron. But if you've watched the show The Blacklist, god dang it. Now where was I before I was so rudely interrupted by my untimely death? Oh yes, if you've watched The Blacklist at all, what James Spader plays, and I'm not picking on James Spader here. James Spader's character it's the same, to be totally honest, as his character from The Blacklist. He seems like more of a stereotyped, quirky villain that's just kind of there, just literally to be something that ties the movie together in terms of an antagonist. And I don't like it. I don't like what they did with Ultron. He seemed not how Ultron is depicted at all. It all stems from him not being involved in any way, shape, or form with Ant-Man, which is kind of one of his defining character traits, is that he has this hate for Hank Pym. And there's just none of that in here. There's he has kind of this hate for people, for humanity, but it just doesn't seem reminiscent of the character in any way. You're gonna do more fiery things. And it is very much an Avengers movie. That much I can say. But other than kind of what it is, there's nothing new. There's nothing that we haven't seen before. Granted, the development with Hawkeye was kind of welcomed. I didn't actually mind what we got with that, because in the first movie it's like, oh, he got mind controlled. That's it. That's all we know about the character. That he shoots arrows and he has some connection with the Black Widow, because I can't remember names for some reason. And I liked that. I liked that we got to see that at least one character had some development and growth. Captain America became somewhat of a meme cancer in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and that's not good. And it's stuff like that where you force characters to do something stupid that makes me a little mad, because you're trying to force too much humor into something that has a villain like Ultron, where humor is great when humor is needed, but when you try and cram it down our throats with what we got, it really makes me mad. And it basically doesn't make much sense. There were moments in Avengers that seemed right, where jokes were warranted, but not in the first 10-15 minutes of your movie. Do you want to automatically start off with something that will basically swarm all over the internet? Not in a good way either. And then, I'm sure we'll talk about this more on the blog in general. The Black Widow, Bruce Banner, whatever the hell that was. Not only does that never happen in the comics, pretty sure Bruce Banner already has a thing for Betty. And Natasha Romanoff has had relationships with various other members of the superhero universe. But this seemed kind of ridiculous in the way that it was. I hate this man so much. We'll continue because I'm going off on a tangent here. It wasn't true to either character in the way that Black Widow essentially went from this like badass super spy assassin to like whining about how she wanted a relationship. And it's like, oh, well, I can't have kids, and because of the graduation ceremony. It's like, okay, yeah, that sucks, but I don't want to hear Bruce Banner and Natasha Romanoff talk about how they have kids when there's way more bigger things going on than just those two characters. And it really takes away from Black Widow as a character. Because now you have her, like, pining over this, like, man, where she kills people. And she, well, killed people. She doesn't, well, she does feel bad, but it's like, that was what she did, and she didn't need to have, like, a guy in her life. And then, of course, there's Bruce Banner, who's just Bruce Banner. But you really took the Black Widow character out of the knees by making this romantic subplot where it took away so much from the original character. And then, of course, there's the other thing where let's be mad at Tony Stark for trying to do something because, you know, we didn't get that enough. We didn't get that Captain America, Iron Man fighting enough in Avengers, which is, you know what, I can see where they're going. Hopefully with this, where it's all build up towards Civil War. I really hope it is, because if it's not, then that entire hate really is just doesn't feel right. But I think this all stems from all of their past mistakes in their franchises, where they could have opened up so much with another Avengers movie. Instead, what we got was Scarlet Witch and her dead brother. Spoilers, by the way. No, you know what? If you haven't seen it by now, that's too bad for you. It's kind of been out for a few weeks. So, Scarlet Witch, basically, we had War Machine make an appearance, which good for him. I wanted to see more of Don Cheadle. I was afraid that in the beginning that was all we were going to see of him. And Falcon, who didn't even show up at the end, but is now apparently in the Avengers. I guess because Captain America owes him a favor? So it would be very interesting to see the next Avengers lineup for sure. I'm sure it'll change a bit with Ant-Man and Black Panther coming out. And of course, I'm always open to seeing Black Panther come to life. Marvel's Batman, who is in charge of its own nation. Let's talk about something a lot better than Marvel. Mad Max. For all the people who think that Mad Max was going to be this feminist message, you're a moron. Anyone who believes that is a moron. It's a Mad Max movie. It's always going to be centered around Max. And it very much was centered around Max. Not sometimes it wasn't directly centered around Max, but that's all right because so long as he's there, it's still a Mad Max movie. I could see how if there was more time devoted to the female characters, be like, yeah, maybe in like a small way, you people with your weird ideas about how this isn't a Mad Max movie and how it's feminist ideals and all that garbage is valid, but it wasn't. It was Mad Max. The plot was fairly straightforward. And the only real complaint I have about the movie is Mad Max's voice. For, like, the 10 lines that he has. It's almost like they're like, hey, Tom Hardy, could you do Bane, except instead of, like, really high pitch, could you do it, like, deeper? And I feel like that's what we got. It almost sounded like his voice was stressed at some points. But that is literally my only complaint about Mad Max. It was entertaining and vibrant, and the music was amazing. In no part thanks to Guitar Guy. And anyone who's seen the movie will know that we all feel bad for that Guitar Guy. Poor Guitar Guy. He kept playing for so long, and his life was cut out so short. But in comparison to Avengers, Mad Max easily blows it out of the water. The only reason why we're not hearing any more about it is because, well, Mad Max is going up against an Avengers movie. And an Avengers movie is something you can take everyone to. Whereas Mad Max clearly was more adult themed. But I guess that's how it goes with the movies. Sometimes you get some good stuff, and sometimes you don't. And unfortunately, this year, Marvel kind of fell flat. And we're hoping, well, I'm hoping at least, that things look a little bit better with their new Avengers movies and Ant-Man and Black Panther and whatever other movies they have planned. I really do. I really wish the best for the Marvel Universe at this point. Because, I mean, it's not like they could do any worse. I mean, they could. Don't get me wrong. They could probably destroy the franchise in one movie, and we'll never again see another Marvel movie for at least 10 years. I'll just throw it already. Oh! Alright, yeah, that hurt. So we'll have to avoid you for a while. Oh, I have all of these healings. Oh, no. No, I cannot be hit by that again. Block. Actually, run. We'll see where he throws it. Huh! Don't you throw another one. Don't you throw another one. You. Alright, little ones. I can dodge the little ones. Serpentine! No! Ow! No, why did you do more? Ah! Quick, go to thing. We'll just progressively get down the list. Come on. Close enough. Oh! Heal. Run. Run! No! Run! You dumbass! Fuck you! Now I'm gonna run away. Because I haven't actually hit you because I've been talking. Stop throwing little tiny death balls of fire at me. You're the last boss. And then I get to go and do something else. No! Heal yourself. We're so close. Look at you. Damn it. No. Let's go. Come on. No, not doing that. Oh. Alright. Come on, Zeus Spear. You failed me. I really wish I had me some guitar guy from Mad Max right now. Jurassic Park looks good though. Terminator looks Terminator-ish, I guess. Ow. Ah! Ah! Oh, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Fuck you. Why does it take you so long to heal yourself? I'm doing this for you. He's throwing another Kamehameha. Realistically, I should be charging him at this point, but I think we're far past that. I'll just wait for him to pop up and I'll spawn kill him like a dick. Ooga shaka, ooga shaka, ooga shaka. Die! Victory achieved! I will now do that. Well, let's get my final cutscene gear on here. Because after all, I go for style points more than anything else. I could be a nice guy. I really could. I could go for the light or for the dark. But this ain't no Star Wars movie, so today the bad guys win. Secret ending. And there was never more a styling knight to leave the throne of want than just right now. Whatever is awaiting us, I'm gonna punch it, obviously. Or stab it, or bludgeon it. Or light it on fire. Spooky. Well, I guess I've started the Age of Dark. Yeah, screw this. Come on, I don't wanna watch the credits. New Game Plus, man. New Game Plus. Anyways, with these credits, I really hope you enjoyed the video. And, you know, talk to us about it. How did you feel about Age of Ultron? How did you feel about Mad Max? What are you looking forward to? And if you just like watching me play video games, I'm still trying to figure out how to set up a Twitch account. Under my gamer tag, Savage Rage 93. Yes, I will be working on a way to change that. But stay tuned for my New Game Plus occasional videos.